Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I want to tell about my short story analysis. The title of the story is The Boat by Robert Creeley. The summary is, the story is telling about a man named William. He lives with his family, his wife and 3 children. The story is tell about how Mr. William tried to make their life better. We can look it from the first part, how Mr. William tried to write his and his family name on a rope, and he asked her children to swim for make them happy and forget for a moment about difficulties in their family. He tried so hard to make their family happy, but it's not with his wife, Mrs. Peter. She couldn't survive much longer with all the problems that come to their family. Day by day, she passed by crying and pondering all the problems. Mr. William is not Mr. William is not unaware of that. It just his tale to try for find a solution for their problems. But at that time, she just want to be with her husband through the hard time and cry together and survive each other. We can look it from the how Mrs. Peter always crying alone and wipes all of her tears by herself. When she tried to ask and talk with her husband, Mr. William, he never hear her and always be busy with his problem like it. Mr. William only feels for what he near his wife and his children while he has nothing to fix their problems. He will try to work hard to find the solution for their problem first, and then he will be proud with himself and come back to his family. Then we back to Mrs. Peter. She find another man that is always there with her when her husband goes to work, who always hear her problems, who wipes her tears. She felt loved by this man more than her husband. So one question arises in her mind, whether her husband still loves her or not, till someday Mr. William found his wife, Mrs. Peter, is kissing with another man. He felt very disappointed about that incident. Mrs. Peter finally said that their marriage just only a status. It doesn't mean that her heart couldn't be entered by another love, especially when her husband was not beside her and her hard time. Mr. William immediately feel guilty and feel bad for his family, especially her wife. Leaving her alone, they should stay together to fight any problems, but Mrs. Peter not love her husband anymore. She still loves her friends who care with her. Okay, this story is ending by Mrs. Peter, which love her friends who always there to hear her problems, to wipe her tears, and always with her anytime. This first we can look from the setting. The setting is in area near the sea. The character is first William, which is as a husband who is hard worker, patient, neglectful, and careless. The second is Mrs. Peter as a wife. She is patient, steadfast. And third is Mrs. Peter's friends. He is friendly and friendly. Uh, Next is point of view. Point of view is a third people. The symbol is metaphor because you can see from the title is the board. The board in this case is not really mean the board, but is give a draw about marriage life. So the board meaning as a marriage life. Theme is transformation. Irony is situational irony. The genre is romance. The plot is exposition or introduction. Is from the story begin with describe the situation about William's family. Mrs. Peter grew very tiny and alone, and with a sense of relief, the other men, her friends, bent over quietly with a wild handkerchief and dabbed at her eyes. Second is raising action. Hence is a figure way. It was all Mrs. Peter and a question of the heart. William couldn't hear and would not have heard her in any circumstance, but to her friend recovered the comment was apt and accessible. The third is climax. She wanted to go away, a long voyage or anything to get away from him and from both of them. Well, they said, I love you. But you don't love me. She thinks they are not so much in love as the heart thought, but seeing that we love no reason. Take a walk to the beach, and in a hour I will come and join you. The fourth is telling action, following action. She not sure that she loved her husband. Then she back into the garden to think all the things and problems that come to her. And the last is resolution. She said to her friends, love me very simply as his hands touched her. She felt cold and thanked him for that. The next analysis is language and style. Vocabulary word uses is connotation and denotation. The sentence structure is imaginary words. In the emptiness, she saw William coming toward her, carrying an oar. He was about to found a city. Figure of speech is personification. From the sentence, the room come in. Style is informal language. Okay, this all about my story analysis about the boat. Thank you for the attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.